Kibera is so large. I mean, it just went on forever and ever, it seemed, as we kept winding around the roads. And I know we didn't even see all of it. And to hear that there were over 1 million people in those conditions, 1 million people in one area in these conditions, and honestly, it didn't seem like anyone was watching. It didn't seem like anyone even noticed them.
I'm standing right on the edge of the Kibera slum, which is the birthplace of First Love Kenya. We began our ministries by providing a feeding program for the children at Raila Educational Center, which is situated right in the heart of the slum. We learned from school officials that many children were coming to school hungry. The people are so impoverished that they didn't even have money to give the children a breakfast or provide a lunch.
It completely caught me off guard when one boy looked at me and said, "Laura, do we have hope?" And I honestly didn't even know what to respond. I remember getting chills and just staring into his eyes thinking, he doesn't have hope. We know he doesn't have a home. We know he might not have a family or siblings, but no hope?
We began to reflect on Laura's testimony later that night, and we realized that God Himself in Jeremiah 29:11 says, "I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." And this is the verse that we claim for our ministry, which is called Operation Hope, which is geared towards rescuing children from the Kibera slum. We formed an alliance with Raila Educational Center, and as part of that agreement, we agreed to feed the students and also assist the teachers with part of their salaries. And so they allowed us to build the compound, our own offices, a dining room, and a kitchen right on the school property. And since that time now, we've served over 3 million meals to students at this school.
The most rewarding thing we get from Raila is when we see the children walking in school for the first time. They look hopeless, they look malnourished, they have ringworms in their head, they have big tummies. But now when they start getting our porridge and our lunch, after 2 months or so, you find that the big stomach has gone and the child is looking healthy and they are happy to be in school.
And we have seen the results in the kids' lives in terms of physically, of course, they're feeling better, they're stronger, they're able to think, they're able to study.
We've used the same facility in Kibera now to reach out to about 60 women. And with these ladies, what we've done is to help them make a livelihood, make a living, by encouraging them to come there, learn the Word of God, in the Bible study every Friday. And then also say it's the same opportunity to have them learn some skills. They have been able to learn how to sew using the machines, and now they are doing aprons that we are sending to America. So if you saw an apron made in Kenya, know that it is from us. If you buy it, then you're promoting us and you're promoting these women. And it's just to empower those women so that, because we know that some of them are HIV positive, others are single mothers. And they have no one to turn to, for a living. And so we've come in there to assist.
And then a few years later, we were able to build a little girls' home. And we began to reach out to orphan children. But there were so many that needed our help that we prayed that God would bring us some land in which we could expand this ministry to orphans. And then a few years later, we had a donor come to us and say that he would assist us in purchasing land, 5 acres, 2 miles away from Kibera, and that's where we're at right now.
So in the year 2009, we had
the children's department come over to do an inspection, since we were interested in having the institution registered. And part of the requirement is we had to have at least a minimum of 20 children. And so when they went in and did the inspection of the home where we've just moved from, and down at the dining hall, and with the bathrooms and all these facilities for healthcare, we met the standard. And so they're very grateful, and they were thrilled that actually we have such a place. And they actually gave a recommendation and said of all the children's homes they have been to, they've never seen any that has had a beautiful setup as First Love. So one of the very first things we do when children come into the institution is to reassure them that they are loved. Because we get to realize that most of the places where they have been, or the years of growing before they came here, they have been abused, or they have been in places where they have lacked, and you'd find that some of them feel that they are unworthy. And so one of the very first things we do, we assure them that they are loved. And this is a home where they're going to find safety, and they're going to be provided for everything they need. So we take them through that and assure them we took you in because we love you, and we want to see you become who you have really wanted to become ever since you were young.
I saw little Kelly at Matumba Slum, and it broke my heart when I saw him the last time that I was here and went to Matumba, and I asked Irene and Karen at that time, is there something we can do for this child? Just poorer than dirt, and the distended belly, cratered head filled with just ringworm and scabies, and everything that you could imagine was covered on this child. You know, rags for clothes, feet were just torn up because he didn't have any shoes. And so to see that child transported here and the different life that he's experiencing just warms my heart.
But we know that the kind of values we've been instilling in these children, it's so strong that they will carry this along with them. And when they get married, you know, this will not depart from them. And we are quite sure, and we believe that with God's help, the same impact that they've had from here will be passed on to their children.
One experience that I will treasure forever is my time with Frida. It is amazing to watch her, to hear her life experience from what she's had to endure until just age 13. No child should ever have to endure even a piece of that. She said, "Put your hand like this." So I put my hand out, and she put her hand in mine, and she clasped it, and she said, "Look." She's like, "We're one, like a zebra." I know the Lord is going to use her to impact Kenyans. She is already impacting the girls in the home that she lives with. She is their big sister, and she is a leader to them.
Most of the time, I try to make them happy the best I can. Like help them in homework, play with them, let them have freedom to go anywhere they want, especially now that some of them, they miss their parents too, and they miss their guardians. So for them to be happy, it's me to make them happy all the time. That's what I do for them. What I would like to do at university, my dreams are big, and I would like to be a doctor, and not only a doctor, but a special doctor. But I would also study law. That's my dream too. So I thought of if I become a lawyer at the same time and become a doctor, I have to study very hard, and that's what I'm doing.
The people who are running this show, Tom and Linda and Chris and Irene, who we've gotten to meet for the first time in this past 2 weeks, are the real deal. They are very frugal. They're on the front line. They have a true understanding of how to be effective and what to do. And for us, it's been wonderful to be here and help put a little bit of energy into the orphanage to just to chip away at this humongous need here, and we're fulfilled. But if you're looking for an organization, this First Love group, and I had no prior experience with it up until this week, it is a place where you could park some money, and it would be a good way to do your charitable donations.
As a businessman, I saw what First Love has done and how the money that they have received through donations has been used extremely well, hiring professional individuals to run their organizations, people that love God, love these children, and just the integrity alone was amazing to me in how these people operate.
Those who like to become nurses, those who like to become engineers or pilots, you know, any profession they take, and if they can achieve their dreams, they will be reaching out to other people also. And I'm sure they will be sharing the story. This is how it all began.
In the last 4 years, we've been able to build an office building, and we've just completed a new dormitory, 3-story dorm, where we're moving all these children in. We have a beautiful dining room and a center for the training of the trades, and now a new ministry center for women's ministries to train them in livelihood projects. And this is where I call upon you to ask the Lord of the harvest if He would have you join us and partner with us so that we can provide this home and give a future and a hope to many more children. Our children's home will eventually grow to 160 children on this property, and so we need you to come alongside us and help us to provide a future and a hope for these kids.
It's a tender love that's gonna see you through, whispering to your heart so that you'll know what to do. It's a tender love not about to let you go. It's a tender love and there's so much more to know. Love that's holding me tender and true. Love that's molding me, seeing me through. I've stood in true amazement of all you've done for me. My faith so small, you do it all, and you give it all for free. It's a tender love that's gonna see you through, whispering to your heart so that you'll know what to do. It's a tender love not about to let you go. It's a tender love and there's so much more to know. Let go of the past and get up off the ground. This love will last, this love I found. I stand in true amazement of all you've done for me. I'm in a daze, yes I'm amazed, embracing the change, I'm free, yeah. It's a tender love that's gonna see you through. Oh, whisper into your heart so that you know what to do. It's a tender love not about to let you go. Oh, it's a tender love and there's so much more to know. It's a tender love that's gonna see you through, whispering to your heart so that you know what to do. It's a tender love not about to let you go. Oh, it's a tender love and there's so much more to know.
I think there's a big difference because life has really changed, a big change from an unbeliever to a believer. I think everything is good here, and I just want to thank God.